What is up, survivors? My name is Soul Survivor, and today, for the last video of the day, I'm bringing you guys my narration stories. So, without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna take a drink of my tea here, and I'll get started with the reading. Alright. So, here we go. Back when I was 5, my dad, he worked as a conductor for a train station. Mostly did night shifts. And, just things like that, driving the train late at night, going to his office to finish up paperwork before he came home around 2 in the morning. He says the job is fairly quiet after people stop riding the train and whatnot. Even though they're not riding, he still has to go to different stations to see if anyone else is riding to a different station. Normally, no, but it's his job to do anyway. He says the night shifts are pretty quiet in the metro station near my city. He says the job is fairly quiet. It's a nice, easy job. He likes it. He's really big on trains. But he said that one morning when he came home, he said he was quitting the next day. When we asked why, this is what he said. It's a long story, but I'll tell you. Normally, my routes at night are quiet and peaceful. But making my rounds, I seen someone standing at one of the metro stations waiting on the train. I stopped by and he gets on. He goes and he sits in one of the closed seats. I take his ticket and he tells me where he's heading. So we go. And, his stop was my stop. We get to the same metro station. So when we got there, he got off. So did I. I locked the train up. Started heading to my office. I said goodbye, have a nice night to the man. He didn't really say anything, just kept walking. So I started heading to my office. I was walking, and the place is pretty big, so you could hear echoes of your feet steps. So I was walking, and I heard feet. I heard footsteps. So I stopped, and I'd hear one more before I stopped. So I tried this a time or two. I'd go a little and stop, and every time, sure enough, I'd hear an extra footstep. So by then, I was getting freaked out. Decided to look behind me to see if anyone was following me, but I seen no one. Just an empty, dark train station. So, a little freaked out and disoriented, I went to my office to finish up paperwork before I went home. In my office, I locked the doors just to be safe. That guy seemed really creepy. He had a coat on, one of those big coats that you see normally here in New York. He had a baseball cap on, and didn't really show his eyes, kind of kept his head down. Didn't say anything. He seemed creepy, but he kept his hands in his pockets like maybe he was holding on to something. Because it wasn't cold. There's really no need for him to have his hands in there if he wasn't holding something, or, well, just to have him in there, I guess. So I locked the door anyway, and I go to do the paperwork. And next thing I know, someone's knocking on my office door. I ask, "Who is it?" There's no answer. So I peek through the blinds of the little window that I have on the door. And sure enough, it was the man from the train. I could see his face this time. He had dark blue eyes and a sinister smile, showing teeth. Big ass grin on his face. I will never forget. So I didn't answer the door. I kept it locked, and I said to go away. I'm not coming out. That's when he started knocking harder, almost like banging. I didn't know what to do. I just kept the door locked and did my work. Hopefully he'd leave. After about an hour or so, he did. He finally left, and I was alone again. I waited an hour or so before I headed home, just to be safe, to make sure he wasn't waiting for me. So once I thought I waited long enough that he'd surely be gone by now, I headed out. I locked up and finished my paperwork and filed it and everything like I needed to. And I locked my office. So I started heading home. And again, I heard the footsteps. Immediately, I started to run. I was not about to let that guy catch me. Who knows what would happen if he did. I wouldn't be here telling this story now. And so I ran up the streets into a cop. I told him someone was chasing me. And I seen him around the corner, running from the cop. He seen that I went to the cop and that I went and told what was going on. And so I guess he ran off. The cop escorted me back to the house, made sure I was alright, and said that he gotta look at the perp, as he called him, and that he would keep an eye out around the neighborhood for him. I thanked him and walked inside. My family was waiting for me. They were in bed, but my wife was up. My 2 kids, they were in bed. They had school tomorrow. But again, my wife was up and awake. So, I told her what happened. So I told her what happened, and she couldn't believe it. She just stared at me like I was crazy. So, that ends my story. Thanks guys for listening. I'll see y'all guys next time. Have a great day.